and Saul was getting his army ready to battle. One was on, let's keep reading, in verse 3, and the Philistines stood on a mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley in between them. So one was on this side of the mountain, and one was on this side of the mountain. Verse 4, and there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. Hallelujah. A champion, a warrior out of the Philistines, named Goliath, a giant. He was mighty. Hallelujah. Let's see how mighty he was. He had a helmet of brass upon his head. He was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of his coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. Hallelujah. This is a big man here. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. One from this army was a giant. And let's continue to read on. One was his army from a giant. Verse 8. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. Let's pause right there. What does he mean? He's stepping out, proclaiming his mightiness, proclaiming his king's greatness, saying that if you will be able to fight with me and kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I shall win against him, hallelujah, and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve us. What is this big old giant saying? If you look at most medieval time series and movies, etc., there's always a warrior that steps out to stand for his nation. So it is in the Olympic Games. There are certain people that step out to define and to represent their nation. Well, this big old giant, this warrior, this man full of hatred and evil, he steps out and he says, I want to fight somebody. And that's somebody you have to choose. I'm not going to choose him, but you're going to choose him. Choose wisely, because if I win, you're going to be our servants. But if somehow you win, then we'll be your servants. Hallelujah. And verse 10. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. When Saul and all of Israel heard those words of the Philistines, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. When King Saul now heard the words, he was so scared he could not even believe his eyes. A king is supposed to be fearless while fearing God, but he was afraid. But let's speak about little David. Hallelujah. Verse 12. Now David was the son of Ephraim in Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. And he had 8 sons, and the man went among them for an old man in the days of Saul. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to battle. And the names of the 3 sons that went to battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next to is Abinadab, and the third one was Shammah. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. But little old David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Now Saul and little David had a wonderful story together. Almost as soon as Saul saw him, he fell in love with David. When Saul was tormented by the devil, when Saul was feeling down, David played the harp for him so that he could receive comfort. Hallelujah. David, little old David. Verse 14. And David was the youngest, and the 3 elders followed Saul. Let me skip to 16. And the Philistine drew near morning and evening and presented himself for 40 days. 40 days this giant stood on his side of the mountain proclaiming, who will come and fight me? 40 days now. And Jesse said unto David his son, take now for thy brethren and Ephraim and of this parched corn and these 10 loaves, and run up to the camp to thy brethren. Go feed your brothers, little David. They're out there fighting. Go feed your brothers. Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah fighting with the Philistines. And David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him, his father. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to fight, and shouted for battle. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. little David. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren. And he talked with them. Behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine Goliath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them. Verse 24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. These men were afraid of this nasty, mighty giant. These men were afraid, but little David. And the men of Israel said, Have ye seen this man that has come up, surely to defy Israel? Is he come up? And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. And David spake to the men, and stood by them, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth the Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is uncircumcised? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he shall defy the armies of the living God? Who is this big man? Who are you? What name are you coming in that you can come in and start barking orders, that you can come in and start demanding things? Little David, just a youth in the midst of grown men, while they were hiding with their heads between their legs, he's up in here saying, Well, who is this man? What authority does he have? And the people answered him after this manner, saying, So shall it be done to the man that killeth him. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he had spoken to the man, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he says, Why are you down here, little brother? Why comest down hither? And wilt thou have lost a few of those sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and thy naughtiness of thy heart, but thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. Little David, why'd you come in? This isn't a place for a child. This isn't a place for youth. This is a place where we're putting our hand to the plow. This is a place where we're getting ready to battle. But when David got there, he said, This looks like a place of cowards. This looks like a place where people are just hiding. And David said, What have I now done? Is there not a cause? And he turned from him toward another and spake after the same manner. The people answered him again after the former manner. And then when the words were heard which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight this Philistine. He'll go and fight. And Saul said unto David, David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight him, for thou art a youth, and this man is a man of war from his youth. Hallelujah. He said, You can't fight this nasty giant, little David. He's bigger than the men, and he's also bigger than you. Hallelujah. And let's see what David said. David said to Saul, Thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, took a lamb out of the flock. And I went after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he rose up against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him.